Get set.
That's what the time says. And we're back again. Sometime last week, a lady called on the radio show and she told us a story of how that she regretted marrying in a certain family because of the in-laws. She had to stay and endure the pain because she wanted to keep her family, and that's talking about the husband and the children, together. She talked about how that sometimes the in-laws would come to the studio, that's a studio, come to her home. Her home, that is supposed to be like, she's supposed to be like the child lady, the beginning and the end of that home, because that's what the woman is in each house. And every man had better understood that, so that we can start getting things in the right perspective. So they'll come in, go to our kitchen, eat our food, use whatever they want to use. And you hear statements like our sons, our brothers' property. Treating the woman like she's just something, pardon my English, that's there. No regard whatsoever. No love, no respect whatsoever. And the anger of this is that in the midst of all these, there were even women, in-laws that were women involved in this, treating another woman in her own matrimonial home as if she was just a piece of rag. And then we asked the question, why did you decide to stay? She gave us several reasons. One of them was my children. I love my husband. And then that keeps someone wondering, so why isn't the husband doing something about it? And then
Big question.
And then you wonder whether it's because the husband has not done something about it, or he has, but it's not just enough. How bad can in-laws get, especially in this regard, that even the couple themselves, in some cases, will not have a say in their own marriage, because the husband is being pushed left and right, the wife is suffering, and they're just together because of the kids. And that was a typical situation of that caller last week.
That's right. And,
you'll agree with us that we have people who are experiencing that particular story, if not the exact way she had narrated. We have women, we have people generally. I don't want to just say women, although most of the time it is the women who get to experience this kind of harsh treatment from their in-laws. I'm like I said, I'm sure that we have a lot of people who are experiencing this in their marriages, in their homes, and it's a tragic thing. But having said that, we also have people who share their story as well, who have had good relationships with their in-laws. And today it's a different ball game. I mean, today we're twisting the conversation. We started yesterday with asking, talking about in-laws, right?
Yep.
We're talking about the relationship you have with your in-laws. And we ask that you share with us your experience. Share with us how far are you part of those people who feel frightened when you hear your in-laws, or are you part of those people who are excited and you feel like they have been good to you? And we had a lot of people, right? Majority of people who reached out yesterday said that they have had great relationships with their in-laws.
That's right.
But that does not say that we don't have those who are experiencing hard time, tough relationships, crazy relationships, toxic relationships with their in-laws.
All right. So I'm going to start by, I just went on Facebook now. They're setting Kehinde Popola, who has been, he has decided to go on Facebook and consistently calling attention to something we already addressed. And I don't know what his rationale is, but I'm going to say this. He's talking, Collins, let me read the message. I need to get this because I saw a message yesterday and I was like, excuse me. So, hello, Tekes. Hope you have settled people their money. We don't want to hear calls from people expecting to be credited. Now, you may hear that, and that has nothing to do with not settling, just not settling. We have had more than 5. Let me just put this before anybody brings. So if you bring it up again on the show, I may just not necessarily have to answer it to it. We've had different people sending DMs, messages, claiming they are who they are. Now, the challenge is some of the guys who called in, their numbers were not visible. So it was tough to get their numbers. We've asked for weeks that if those who won should send their details to us, and we're trying to track them. So there's no need, Kehinde, to go on Facebook and start commenting with that. I mean, it's unnecessary. I mean, there's a tagline guiding the conversation today. So I would expect that Kehinde Popola, you would comment on what is there, not necessarily bring this to the fore. And also, there is someone in charge, their team in charge of ensuring that those who win the prize get it. It's just one of those experiences. Nigerians, most people have not been truthful. You did not win, you say you won, and then things like that.
It's funny how I still got DMs of different people who cooked egusi soup.
I mean, so it was I was the one that cooked. We saw like 4 people.
I was able to fish out the person who actually called and won on the show. And if you have received your what I call it, your cash prize, do let us know that you have received your cash prize.
Yeah, sorry, I had to get that out of the way because it was almost getting to an embarrassing point. Already it's so much embarrassing that we have that cause. So, like you're saying, we're having a part 2 of our relationship with in-laws, right?
Yes, on the Family Talk this morning. So, Lagos, Nigeria, first of all, how are you doing this morning? I hope you woke up on the very bright side. I keep asking this. I hope that you woke up on the bright side. I hope that you're happy this morning. I hope that you're ready for the day. And yes, the Tekes, we're here to keep you company for the next 2 hours.
The next 2 hours of fun, next 2 hours of real conversation with real people, storytelling, and learning live on radio.
That's right. It's Family Talk on WhatsApp Lagos with the Tekes. My name is Andrea. Odu-obi, Teke.
And I'm Collins. Teke. Well, I need to turn to you now, really, where I should have started from. And by the way, I don't know, my fly yesterday, I didn't like it that you rejected it, but that's gone. That's gone.
My God.
That's gone. I almost wanted to go and buy a bouquet, full bouquet, like, come on. But I got to say, all this one is eye service. The one that I wanted to give you, I changed my mind. I said, I cannot go and buy a bouquet because, So I had to bring that back because I want to ask you your personal observation in terms of the environment generally. There are a number of things we have complained about.
Yeah.
Traffic related, and in most cases, security too. The security situation around Lagos has been very, very worrisome. Having people being stabbed, being robbed,
Kidnapped and what have
a lot of things happening around there, and we're worried about this, and we consistently asked Lagosians to tell us what's happening in our neighborhood. Is there anything you observed? Because, I mean, we both observed something today, this morning.
Yeah,
that's
less
right.
traffic actually. Our major axis. I think the traffic there has subsided. It's no longer as intense as it used to be, right? I think that's what I observed. Just like what the caller, I think, I can't remember her name now. She said, where did everybody go? So it's more like the same situation to me as well. I'm just like...
On the roads and the Lekki Express specifically.
It's not as well. I don't know about now, but at the time I left the house, it wasn't as intense as it used to be.
All right, guys. How's Ado Road this morning, guys? Let us know if you are around those axes. You're on the road right now. Do you still have the T-Pass on the road, or did the government listen to us? Is there any change? We'd like to find out. And you can also call us and let us know what's happening in your Lungu generally.
And how you're feeling. I like to ask that question most of the time because we don't even ask ourselves that question enough. How are you? Ask yourself, how am I actually? Am I fine? Am I in a right state of mind at the moment? Yeah, sometimes we need to sit back, chill, and ask ourselves those questions. So how are you this morning? How are you, Collins? Are you fine?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
How fine are you?
Rating, I would say 60% okay. In some areas, 100% in some areas.
Okay. 60%.
Yeah. Yeah, in some areas, 100 in some areas. But that's a high score, right?
60 is not exactly a high score.
But it's above average.
But it's above average anyway.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I thought you were going to ask me what happened to the remaining 40.
I wanted to, but maybe it's not something you want to talk about on radio.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, maybe I'll just mention it. But for now, we have a lot to talk.
That's right. We'll be talking relationships with in-laws. And we have a few questions we want to ask. Also want to hear from you, your experience. Yesterday, we had people share their experience, and we're extending it to today for those of you who didn't have the opportunity to reach us and share your experience as well. We also want to hear what are the strategies that you think can keep a very good relationship between in-laws. We want to know. What are those strategies? How can we have a cordial relationship with our in-laws without jamming ourselves on the head, without, being at loggerheads with each other? So if you have a very good relationship in your with your in-laws, how are you doing it? And you also want to ask, these in-laws who come about being all authoritative or being overbearing, how can we handle them without having to be traumatized by the things that they do? Right. I remember my sister reached out yesterday. She was listening.
Yes, by the way.
And she said, Ogo, we want to hear how we are to you. How did she say it? So she wants to know, are they good in-laws?
So you're asking me now?
Yes.
If my in-laws,
yes,
that's your people.
Yes.
Who are my people?
Yes.
Doing me well.
Yes.
But you know the answer. But I'm going to say it on radio live. But first of all, I need to give a big shout out to the Mortals. All right, great. And for all of them, I mean, to the beautiful boys, talking about
Jesse and Rain.
Yeah. And the mother, it's my in-law, Uloma, shout out to you, Mrs. Mortar. Okay.
Yes.
And also Mr. Mortar himself, who probably is about making sure that it's making more money. I mean, it's good to have rich in-laws that have money, and that's one of the things that, that will make you proud and all that. Some people actually, that's what they're looking for, rich in-laws, but that was not the case. These are special people. Right. Back to your question. Yes, I mean, you know the answer. I mean, I'll just recount the experience I had when I went to Urata, and also touched on Iagua for our Iwanku. And you know what experience was. I mean, your family stood by me. This, my immediate in-laws, that's your sister and the family, I mean, they were there. your uncles,
Mm-hmm.
every single person. I mean, I felt at home. I've had to be in gatherings that I'm the only person representing my family
Yeah.
in the past.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone out on retreats and
That's right.
that I had all your family members, I mean, uncles.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it never felt
You were not.
I mean, it felt like I was at home. So, I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones. To say the least, and I mean, shout
Aw.
out to all the uncles, Uncle Dave, Uncle Sam, Uncle Solo, Uncle Solo,
Oh my God.
and Auntie Oluchi,
So yes.
and Mama, and your mom too. I mean,
Yeah.
she's amazing. She came around for Omugwo, and she did a great job, fantastic job. Taught us, you know, a lot of things. Taught me, you know, how to. I learned a lot of things, you know, during that period, especially taking care of babies and all. And yeah, it's been a smooth ride. I don't even see one. Really,
Okay.
Abi, is it
All right.
Ima?
So-
Yeah, Ima, or is it Uchechi or
Yeah,
or Favor? Everyone is
so
just,
shout
just
out to my
amazing.
people, yeah.
Shout out to your people. Eminko, you've met my family members.
All right.
Uh-huh.
In-laws.
Hello.
In-laws.
In-laws.
In-laws. Okay, I've had opportunities to live with Simon,
Okay.
your younger brother, and
Yeah.
Simon hasn't. I mean, I don't know if he was just being a man,
Okay.
but yeah, he's a sweet guy.
Okay.
He's been good,
Okay.
you know. But you know,
I don't know. You know what?
I don't want to go further.
What of
I don't want to
Johnson?
go
What of
further.
Johnson?
Johnson is amazing.
Okay.
Johnson's amazing.
Simon's amazing too.
Yeah, both amazing. Mom Situ is amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
she's a
my
woman that's
mom.
not seen me, right? We've only been speaking over the phone, and she's so
virtually.
and virtually, and she's so sweet. You know, but those that I have lived with,
Yes.
especially
Great.
Simon.
Uh-huh.
Simon is great. Simon is amazing.
Uh-huh.
But
But what?
we have been we have been at loggerheads on several things.
I mean, you
Several things.
you are loggerheads with your siblings.
Yeah,
Sometimes too.
exactly.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's the good thing because I like that he didn't hide himself. You know,
Okay.
some people want to pretend and just so that you can like them or something. But he was himself, and I saw his flaws. He allowed me see
It's flawed.
his flaws. We're going on a short break. We'll be right back.
More conversation, more
10:34, live on Nigeria's number one for Talk 99.3. And I can see a number of tweets already on our discourse today on the Family Talk. And we haven't had time to hear from you. For those who would like to call and scream and say, "What's up, Lagos?" and let us know what's happening in the Lungu, we would do that right now. But it would be nice to, again, remind you that our talk is part 2 of relationships with in-laws on the Family Talk.
That's right. So to call us up 0700 993 993 993. And if you're a woman, do call 01 465 7190. So I was talking about Simon before we went on a break.
Yeah.
In all, he has been awesome, right? Yeah. In fact, he's my closest in-law than the others.
All right.
And I think that's because we've had the chance to go
back and forth.
back and forth. You know, so that actually created some kind of bond between the both of us.
Okay.
But I love him in all. We give ourselves mutual respect. And I think that's actually one of the very key thing when it comes to living with your in-laws or having them around.
Yeah.
Mutual respect. Respect me as I respect you. Because you married me, or you married me into your family, or because your brother married me into your family, does not mean that my respect has been thrown under the bus, or my respect does not, exist anymore. You respect me as much as I would also respect you. I think that mutual respect is very key.
Very key.
Very, very key.
So how would you say that I handled it? Of course, I saw all the differences.
The back and forth.
Yeah. So how would you say I handled it? So guys, Simon is my younger brother, and he was with us. And in fact, we gotta go village for the
Baku. Yes, he was there,
and the whole lot.
Yeah.
So I mean, he played a major role. He's pretty much like the guy who was all around
Yeah.
them. Yeah, but there were times that I had to be away, and they stayed together in the house. And I heard a number of stories. I heard different things, and I think, okay, you want to describe how you feel I handled it? What I just did was I had experience before. I've had this situation where someone I'm close to, and then, I have issues with my family, and then it wasn't handled properly. So this time I just said, these are adults, man. They could sort themselves, They can sort themselves the best way they can.
I like that.
Yeah.
This is what you did.
Uh-huh.
I like that. In my presence, you weren't judgmental.
Okay.
Like, you did not judge him. You just told me, okay, this is him. He's from a different background. This is how he behaves. Some of the things that he's seeing you do are quite new to him.
Yeah.
But, there are some things that are common sense, and I'm going to address it. Now, you did not address it in front of me. Like, you didn't bring him in front of me and, and me too, and say, yeah, look at you people, talk to us like children. Say, you, this is my wife, respect my wife, blah, blah, blah. I like that you went in his room, sat him down, and had a conversation with him.
Yep.
And, I don't know what you had with him. I don't know the conversation. But immediately after that period, you had that conversation with him, he changed. He changed. I mean, his attitude towards me changed drastically. Although I was eavesdropping at some point when you were raising your voice, like you were, I don't know if you were angry at him or something, but I could hear how sternly you were warning him. And I was just at the back, tell him, let him hear, But at the end of the day, it turned out right. It turned out really good. In fact, now he's like my favorite in-law.
Okay. So shout out to you, Simon, my fanny. So that's how we handled it. So when we bring these things on radio, apart from the fact that you guys know that we are a legally married couple, we also have
these experiences. Like we're real life people.
We're human beings. They have flesh and blood. You get what I'm saying? So
it's more like we're also sharing our own experiences live here with you, and you get to tap into the Tekes every day. Like, come on.
Absolutely. I mean, for free as it were.
How cool
The
is
idea is for you to hear things that are relatable from people who are on this side. We don't want to sound like radio hosts that are far away from you, talking over your head. No, we want to be as relatable as possible. And that's why these stories are very necessary. And we want to hear your own story. That's the way I handle the situation. There are other situations that have to do with in-laws on our side that are also handled in different ways.
Yeah.
I think over time we learned how to handle them. But one thing that has been key, which is your hack that we share with you before the show ends, we tell you, we want to know from you.
Yeah.
How have you been handling your in-laws? Because and then are they? Is it? Are there situations where this, it can't be fixed as far as this relationship between you and your in-laws are concerned? No, I have made up your mind.
It can never work.
This can never work. Are there situations like that everyone will look at it and say, no, the best way is for you to just be on your own. On both sides. Or could these relationships be fixed? How are you handling issues with your in-laws?
I like that you said that. I keep bringing my mom's situation here because she is like a direct example that I can relate to. I also witnessed
wonderful woman.
Yeah, I also witnessed everything that happened, while growing up to her. So she had told us that, see, I don't know, I don't want anything to do with these people. And they keep coming to say they want peace, they want to, settle with her. And she has said, I've forgiven you people. We've moved on. My husband is dead. He's no longer alive. He's no longer the intermediary. So I have nothing against you. And but I think
they can't.
The conscience, exactly. So they're still coming by and saying, please forgive us. And then she said, I'm forgiving you. But they don't believe. They don't believe
because of the evil
gravity, the gravity of the evil that was done to her.
All right.
Yeah.
So, guys, what state are you in? Are you in the sweet in-law state that I am in?
Yeah.
Or are you dealing with one right now that you have even thought of starting a war between the two tribes?
No.
Things like that. We'd like to share and hear your story.
To call us up 0700 993 993 993. Hello. Oh boy. Hello.
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 Hi. Good morning.
What's up, lady? Chicky, lady. Lady.
Hey.
Lady.
Yeah. Welcome.
What's up?
We're
good.
good.
We're fine.
How are you?
We're fine.
Very, very fine.
Okay, a long time. How are you doing now?
Very fine. Very fine. It's been a while. Nyanye.
Yeah. It's work now.
I know. But let's talk on the matter on ground. We're good.
Hello?
We're good.
Okay, it depends. So, so there's some in-laws that I don't know how to explain it, but it's only God. It's only God that will just make
it's only God that will settle the matter.
It's only God, because why I say it's only God is that some people, once their wife and their it depends on the wife again and the husband.
Okay.
Sometimes husband and wife will have issue. The wife or the husband will
take it to the family.
That's very, very bad. And once a man starts doing that kind of thing, you'll be having bad mind where the wife is.
That's right.
And when they settle, the thing might leave the husband's mind, but the family might it will be there. So any little misunderstanding, saying that is how our son came, that's how our daughter came to the court. So most times marriage just
the couple.
Anything that, and yes, just being with you because what your husband would take, your
family might not take it.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. That's some of the marriage that is scattering today is husband and wife that's
causing it. Okay. All right. Thank you. I think that's also a very good point. I think it is.
Taking your matters to your in-laws or your family.
Yes.
On the name of your family. Now, there are also dangers. Some people will say, yes, you shouldn't do that. But there are also dangers of locking up. Or that could be the reason why some people just lock up and say everything just between both of us. But yes, you can make that decision. But how would the in-laws take it? Does it matter? Which brings us back. Does it matter how if we make a decision right now and say, look, no extra, no matter who the person is in whatever area, nobody's hearing anything about us. We're staying like this, keeping to ourselves and all that.
I think
does it matter how the in-laws take that? Some people will take that like, okay, I decided to be on their own. Okay, we're waiting for them.
Whatever happens,
and then they start planning your children and planning people and all things like that.
Like whatever happens, they should not come to us.
They should not come and things like that. So could there be how do you strike that balance? Because and that also brings the question of what roles do your in-law play in your life? So we can't make in-laws role general. It has to be Family per
Specifically,
family.
exactly.
So what roles do they play in your life?
life?
What's the role of your
Ebuka-
in-laws?
Ebuka from Shomolu is on the line at the moment and he's waiting.
All right.
Hello?
What's up? What's up, Lagos?
What's up? Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Cheers
Yes.
to life.
Cheers to life.
No. We got to start sharing something else now, not rice anymore.
Very soon. Very soon.
Good morning, Andrea and Collins.
Good morning.
You have Chukwubuka on the line.
Good to have you.
You know, Sandra said something during her interview that I listened to.
Okay.
She said, you know, and that's what I like Nigeria info presenters. I mean, they make it real. As in, they share their life experience as well. Even the good and the bad ones, you know, so that we callers can also feel free to share our own.
That's right.
You know, so, and that's how people learn. That's how every other person learns. It builds one's confidence.
That's
Say, look,
right.
I'm not the only one person through this. If this presenter or an anchor of the program can share this on air, then what is my own?
That's
Why
right.
can't I share mine?
That's right.
And it goes a long way. I appreciate you guys for that a lot and
Thank
a lot
you.
and a lot.
Thank you.
Honestly, God
Thank
bless
you.
you guys.
Thank
God
you.
bless
I
you.
see, I mean, in-laws, you know, the question you ask is, what kind of in-laws do you have?
Yes.
Because sometimes the Yoruba say, "Anobruku nikosheni," as in it is bad in-laws that is not good to have at all. Even if your wife is bad or your husband is bad,
That's right.
you don't have bad in-laws at all. Because if you have bad in-laws and you give them room, be sure they will run your marriage down or your home down. And that's why people build that wall. Not because the man is bad, not because the man is bad, but because they have to build that wall to prevent their in-laws from intruding and destroying their marriage. So for me, I prefer good in-laws. I have good in-laws who will be there for you, who will encourage you. You know, when you're even happy, you'll be begging them to come. Please come. You guys just come. Because when they are there, oh my God, I have a friend. When I was in Abuja, let me just round up now. In Abuja,
Okay.
may God forgive them all. You see, the husband of their sister, they all go to parties together. They all go drinking together. They all get drunk together. They come back together and they sleep off and they do all sorts together. And their in-laws, you know, and they were living fine.
Yeah.
And the man was able to help them out, you know, train them. They went to school. Today, if you see them today, you'll not believe it. So having good in-laws, I mean, for me, is the best.
All right.
Thank you very much. God bless you guys.
God
bless you too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. I think that a lot of people don't understand what it is to be an in-law. Maybe we should share or tell you the role of being an in-law. What automatically makes you an in-law? Now, the fact that you are
Do you have
married-
obligations?
Yeah. Do you have obligations?
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, as the fact that
Bimbo
you
should
are
have
married,
experience. Sorry, Bimbo just stepped in. Sorry. he should have a lot to say.
once you're married to another family, now because of the marriage, you are linked to that family by that marriage. That is, you are now a relative of this other family. So if you have a brother on this other side, the brother becomes your wife's brother automatically. If it's a sister, becomes your sister because a mom becomes your mom as well.
Okay.
And if you have an uncle, whoever, you become that person's uncle as well on the other family. So you become family. You become relatives by marriage extension, if you like. Right. So I think when you have that sense of understanding that, okay, once this person is now married to my sister, the person's brother is now my brother as well.
All right.
Kenya is on the line.
That's a very valid point. You know, that understanding would solve some problems. Candy.
What's up, Lagos?
What's up?
Yes.
What's up, Lagos?
Yes.
Cheers to life.
Cheers to life. Candy with the energy.
Yeah, my name is Kenny Dario.
Great
First
to
of
have
all, I
you.
want to appreciate you guys. I got the alert. I got it, and I appreciate that.
Thank
All
God.
right.
I appreciate that.
Good to hear.
That's one. Then secondly, on the issue of in-laws, I want to say for me, I have not
really had good in-laws.
Wow.
I've not really had good in-laws. My wife's mother has never been supportive, always on the side of her daughter and everything, even while we're together. But for me, I would just want to advise that everyone should know that they are the center. It's either you are an in-law to somebody or somebody is an in-law to you. So just know that whatever you do to people, they will do back to you. So if you like, do evil to your child's wife. One day you will become an in-law to another person. Those people too will do you shake. They will do your children shaggy.
All right.
So that's the way it is.
All right.
As far as I'm concerned, I will want a situation where everyone will see themselves as family. Everyone will see themselves as one.
Okay.
Whether that person is your family or not.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Now, before you go, thank you so much. You made your point. I love it, and I took notes. But I also heard when you said your in-law, but the in-law is on your wife's side. That got my attention a bit. You know why? Because I'm like, so are you not on your wife's side? If your in-law is on your wife's side,
Yeah.
and that means you guys will be on the same side. How do you mean? Can you explain that?
Okay, a situation like we have an issue, and then the mother will come around to come and settle the issue, and the parents of the wife.
Who told her the issue first of all?
She will call her mother now. She will give her mother some big excuses like so when the mother comes, her shoulder will be high up like what happened, and by the time I begin to explain in the presence of my wife, she will begin to scold me. You are not a good man. You are not a this, and she will be seated there telling the mother, I was like, you are not supposed to be doing this in the presence of... I used to tell her, you are not supposed to be doing this in the presence of your daughter. As far as I'm concerned, the ones I know of good in-laws, they will scold their daughter in the presence of her husband. They will now call the husband...
Kendi.
Oh, Kendi. Thank you. You made the point. I had to bring that out.
Yeah.
Because...
It was brilliant that you did.
Yes, thank you. But I had to because I sensed that there was something wrong. And that's what we're talking about.
That's right. I mean,
you're carrying... have I warned you before?
The first caller, wait.
Have I warned you or something?
The first caller mentioned that the problems marriages go through, it's actually one of the reasons is from the couple themselves carrying their issue to their family, and then that also now infiltrate their minds, treating the husband or treating the wife a certain way. Now, for her to take the matter, whatever it is that she's going through in her marriage, to her mom, or always reporting to her mom, it's already raising a red flag. There's no way that a mother would not be on the daughter's side. I'm sorry to say. No, see, the mothers are very sentimental to their children. I know that there's some women or some mothers who are also very logical, very, they're not exactly judgmental. When they see what is right, they scold their daughters as well. But you see, most women would want to side their children. Most women would want to be on this and fight for their kids. And you can't take that away. My problem is from the girl who is, the woman who is the wife who is going to the mom all the time to report her husband. You can't get a good result. You can't get anything good from such situations.
That's you taking that's the same washing your dirty linen out.
Exactly, because
it doesn't matter because okay, let me not even say it that way. I want to ask, your husband is you, yes, now?
This thing we used to say, you na me.
Yes. That was catch line. I mean, you.
Yeah, you na me.
And me na you.
I think a lot of couples should have that as a mentality, have that as a mantra in their marriages. You know why? When you have that stuck in your head that your husband is you, and you are your husband, it means that whatever stings your husband stings you. Whatever stings you stings your husband. If you're going out and you're complaining about your husband, you are just opening your in the public.
And they will just play swim.
And he's entering.
So Lagos, let's ask you: is it necessary, based on the last call, is it necessary to share your problems with your marriage with your family members, even if it's your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers? Is it necessary? That's a question we'll answer. We'll come back after the break. Well, I think we should squeeze in one more before the break.
Do we have that luxury?
We've got to have that luxury. We don't have the luxury. We have 1 minute. We do have 1 minute, actually. So the next call has to be fast. What's up, Lagos?
We don't have 1 minute.
Oh, my, oh, my.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Oh, my, oh, my. Army says troops of Operation Lafia Doli have eliminated over 41 Boko Haram and swap terrorists in an encounter at the Galwa and Musuri in Gamburu Ngala local government area, Borno State. Still on security, Governor Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State has inaugurated an 11-man state security task force as part of measures to curb insecurity in that state. The Christian Association of Nigeria has filed a lawsuit challenging the legality of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 (CAMA). In a statement, CAN said it's uncomfortable with the law. The Kaduna Zonal Office of the Department of Petroleum Resources has forced 9 filling stations in the state to revert to the official pump price of 162 naira per litre. The Minister of Foreign Affairs has refuted allegations of maltreatment of Nigerians in diaspora by the Consulate General of Nigeria in Atlanta, Georgia. The United States Nations Food and Agriculture Organization has suggested building alternative livestock value chains as a solution to the farmer-herders conflict in Nigeria. Veteran actor Peter Doce has advised married women always to put the packet of condom in their husband's suitcase if they suspect of cheating. And according to him, this will make the husband to know his wife is aware of cheating and also make him feel guilty. Certainly we'll be finding out that. International aid agency Save a Child says children as young as 11 years old are being beheaded in the Mozambique province of Cabo Delgado as conflicts continues to displace thousands in that country. Really sad story. But we conclude the updates. You get a better comprehensive package of news at the hour of 12. What's Up Lagos continues. Family Talk still on, and we are discussing, of course, relationship with in-laws.
All right, welcome back. It's Nigeria Info 99.3. I am Andrea. Odu-obi, Teke.
And I'm Collins, Teke. I almost forgot that. We're back, and apologies to the last caller who went off while we had to go on a break when we took the call. The lines haven't stopped buzzing. Have they?
No, they haven't. We also have messages on WhatsApp and on Facebook. That is, you have to be streaming us live. If you aren't, please go head straight to Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook. Yeah, that's right, on Facebook. And you can watch us live. You can drop your comments there. You can see how Collins is looking and also see how I am looking. Moving straight to our conversation, we're still asking the question, what kind of relationship do you have with your in-laws? And you see, we also want to know, for those of you who have great relationships, what are the strategies that can be put in place to have a cordial relationship with in-laws? Because we cannot take out the fact that, conflicts are bound to happen.
Yep.
But we most times have cases where in-laws have this sense of entitlement and, want to be sometimes overbearing. How do we get to handle such situations? We've shared our own and how Curtis is able to handle the back and forth between me and my brother-in-law, right? And, I mentioned how I was eavesdropping when Collins was, scolding his brother. And I was just there doing, yes, tell him. He has to know this. I don't understand. If I left you, but hey, we want to hear from you. Do call us up 0700 993 993 993. And if you're a woman, we want to hear from you as well. 01465 7190.
Now, before we went on that break quickly, you remember we also added to the many questions we're asking that is it necessary to share your problems with your family members? As a husband or as a wife, Is it necessary? And then for those who are in a relationship, because sometimes when we talk about these things, you always think it's a married, these are married people conversation. It's not.
Yeah.
In-laws, they have sister-in-laws, they are brother-in-laws, they are cousin-in-laws, their in-laws are different levels. You know, some of you are still young. Some their in-laws who are not married, they're single in-laws, you know,
right.
on both sides.
That's right.
There are different peculiar challenges that come with being an in-law.
That's right.
And how have you been handling it? And would you like to share with us? So it's not just one way. Is it necessary to share your problems with your family? In a marriage, your marital problems or challenges, is it necessary to share your marital problems with your family members?
The WhatsApp line is still up. I think I haven't mentioned the number all the while. So 0809-597-5805. 0809-597-5805.
We don't forget we have the social media highlights much later. We'd also have a guest joining us for that, and we'll be touching on. I'll tell you what we'll talk about for those who don't know. But let's go on. Uka Sociable says, "What's up, Lagos?" He said, "Wow, I'm seeing Odu-obi Teke for the first time." And Nigeria Info FM, that's Nigeria Info 99.3 page. The first time I saw your face was on YouTube channel, where you wear what?
Where you do your coaching, yes.
Oh, where you do your coaching. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you for subscribing. Oh my goodness. I mean, the day you mentioned it, a lot of people actually went on my page and subscribed on my YouTube channel. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Guys, I told you to go and check.
I hope that has been helpful, though.
Andrea Odu-obi Teke. It will be helpful. I'm telling you, thank me later for those who have issues with self-discovery. Now, David Oyewale said, if you manage to see my message, read it, because there are so many messages. I'm trying to clear this. I don't know what's going on, man. The whole matter is us.
Okay.
Let me look for maybe a better... I'll try and get to the Facebook messages, guys. But let's go to the calls, right?
Okay, yes. Hello? Oh, my God. Please move away from your radio or turn it off. Hello?
All right, let's take another. Same story. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Who are we talking to?
Okay, I would like to remain anonymous.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that okay?
That's fine. But you have to scream "What's up, Lagos?" Let's feel your vibe and your energy.
Yes.
Yes.
Cheers to life.
Cheers to
I'm a
life.
first-time caller.
Wow.
Great
Welcome.
I'm so excited because I've tried this number a couple of times.
Wow.
And this is the first time that, I'll get on this.
You made it. We're glad you did.
Okay, so I want to talk about your relationship with in-law.
Yeah.
I'm married.
Okay.
I've been married for 9 years.
Okay.
And I must tell you, sometimes, it can bring a lot of resentment. In my own case, it's quite dicey because my direct in-laws are the difficult ones.
Okay.
Surprisingly, the aunties, the uncles happen to be the very understanding and loving ones. So sometimes when you want to be angry or mad or something, there's this other side that's saying, calm down, we understand. This person is usually like that. But while I know that some people can marry into a family, and become the reason why that family is experiencing problems, I am also aware that, but I think by culture, society expects that as a woman, when you come into their family, every other person is above you. I don't know where we got that idea from. I mean, in the early days of my own marriage, I knew people, because my husband is the first child. That's another problem. My man is the firstborn. Everybody depends on him for some sort of, financial help. Some will say they are just coming to even come and say hello for advice or something. I have had people who did not call me, and then they will come to my house, show up that they want to spend just one month, and the person ended up spending 4 years.
Wow.
4 years of turn, 4 years of pain. I mean, constant problem, back to back. If I start, you will not. It will look like you are exaggerating. But in the middle of that, you will see cousins of my husband who will come around, and they are like your brother. And you're wondering, okay, so what is the missing link? I
my husband are nearly age mates, which means that I am older than all of his siblings. But then they come to the house, you eat my food, you drop the plate, you do not wash. I'm cleaning the house, you lift up your leg that I should sweep and then pass. I fart in my house. They've heard in my in-laws' house, and the mother-in-law is calling, oh, you can't be doing like that in my own house.
Wow.
We've had a baby that my mother-in-law was angry that we did not call her, that we, were expecting a certain sex or something.
Wow.
It can be that bad. Yes, it can be that bad. And at the time, I was resenting my husband. He knows till now.
Wow.
But how we were able to overcome our own, I won't say that I've totally, become that I have forgiven totally, but I'm getting better at it, was that we sought counseling. We have people in our lives that we had to go to and then reported.
Yeah.
So we go to, not that we have totally overcome it, even in 9 years.
Yeah.
We still go, from time to time to say, okay, this is where we are, this is what we're doing. We still have financial issues. But there's one thing that I know is usually the problem. It is the man not standing up enough.
For the woman.
Yes. Because if they know.
Yeah.
See, I am the last one of my family. I'm supposed to be a baby. My siblings are okay. All of them are comfortable to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So they are supposed to be, they've made all my decisions all my life. So I can tell them that I want this done, and it can be done almost, immediately.
Yeah.
But I learned to put them in their places. Okay. Not because, for a start, anyway, I wanted freedom. You don't do. You have made all the decisions for me in my life. So for once, let me be in charge of my life. So if I brought them into my marriage, I'm sure that my husband knows that one day they will have beaten him up. It is the man. It is the man not standing enough.
Up enough.
By body language or by action, that they know that he is fine with what they are doing to the spouse. I have seen it play out the other way, where it's the woman's family that is harassing the man. But usually the common factor is that they know that their own child is okay with what you're doing. Because the moment they know that you're not fine, they will step a step back.
All right. Thank you so much. You made a very valid point, and thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you. I'm sure a lot of people will learn.
Thank you. Absolutely. She made a very, very, very valid point, and I think that I want to bring it back to both of us.
Yep.
How that you stood up and you made sure that you warned Simon. She said that husbands don't stand up enough for their wives. Right? In cases where you know outrightly that your family members are not treating your wife well, just stand up for her. Stand up for her. I think I said this earlier that it's most times affecting the women. Most of the time you see in-law palaver affecting the women more than actually affecting the men. I'm not saying that it does not affect the men, but you see, a lot of the time, it affects the women.
And that's right. If you are just joining us, it's 13 minutes past the hour of 11. It's still live on Nigeria's number one for Talk 99.3. And we're having the part 2 of our talk on relationship with in-laws on the Family Talk today with the Tekes. And yes, it's been so much fun thus far. And that question I've asked, and I really want people to answer, like, is it necessary to share your marital problems or your relationship issues with your family members? Is it necessary? And the last caller also shared a story and talked about, that experience of in-laws having it in mind that the moment, they come into their brother's house, their sister, why don't they do the same when someone is married to their sister? Let me put it this way.
That's why I said most times it affects
it affects the
woman, because the family of the man is saying he's our brother, is our house. We have married you to our family. So there's that sense of entitlement already.
Why? Where from? If I give you a hand, where is that coming from?
You came to our house now. That's what it means. You came to pick us. We came to Dobale.
There are cultures.
We came to pay bright price.
There are cultures in the world, and even on the African continent, that people. When you get married, you move into your in-laws, like as a man. You move into your in-laws' house.
Yeah.
So in that case, should the man be treated that way?
I'm not sure it happens here in Africa. I'm not saying that happening in Africa. I'm not sure it ever happens in Africa. Solomon has been on the line. Solomon from Sherry.
Let me get to
Let's
Solomon
take
now.
that. Hello.
Hello. What's up, Lagos?
What's up?
Cheers to life. Welcome.
Yeah. This is Solomon.
Hi,
Yes,
great to have you,
so.
Solomon.
Yes. I love the topic that you just brought to this morning. I love what the woman just said just now.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm the firstborn.
Okay.
And I tell people most of the time when you are dealing with in-laws, it's done. It comes. The reaction of the man goes a long way.
Yeah.
I faced the same issue, but fortunately for me, I was able to stand up for my wife. I told the whole family they knew. At one time, they say, what has he given to you? What has he... I said, this is the one I'm married to.
Yeah.
At one time, I had issue with my mom, and now they are getting along. But I tell people that care to listen, if you can fight me and go scot-free, but the moment you raise up your voice and anything against my wife, then you are ready for a battle.
That sounds familiar.
That has helped my home personally.
That's great.
Because most of the time, at times I go out, there's nothing I have that she doesn't know. There's nothing I have that she doesn't have access to.
That's great.
So
That's great.
If you want to win me, then win her first.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I love that.
Thank you
I love
so
that.
much.
Thank you, Solomon.
And guys, in case you're looking for solutions, that's like one of the biggest solutions right there.
Right.
I remember actually even warning you directly. I'm saying it's on national radio. That if we ever have an argument here, and this is not a case of me stopping a woman from talking and sharing her thing, and I hear it without us addressing it, like people who have sense, and I hear it somewhere else. No matter who we tell, even if it's my mom, I'm going to fight you to the very last, and we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I remember always giving everyone clearly. You see, when it comes to say my wife, you want to talk and she's always right. You understand? She's right 100. So you just have to correct it from the point of view. I put it there not because you are always right, because nobody's always right.
That's right.
Just to send a warning that look, there's no trying to come and tell me what is and what is not when it comes to her, because man, you only know what you know. All right, that's it. That's indeed. We will need to bring in our guests at this point. He'll be joining us in the conversation, and also we'll be finding out what he's up to. It's a friend of the house, a very good friend, and an experienced, I want to say elder, an experienced elder. He is, the voice coach himself, the man who is a man of many parts, all right? So let's not even go there. It's not the first time he's coming here. And we'll just bring him on to comment on this matter. And then we'll switch into our conversation for the social media highlights, where we'll also touch on a number of things, including the recent wins in the creative industry, the Grammy Awards, and what that means, the rise of Afrobeat, and a couple of other things. Jasmine also will join us on the social media highlights as we get into that. But first, guys, we have the one we call Uncle Ade. Some people say Ade. Oh my. Good to see you.
It's good to see you again, my brother. How are you? Long time. It feels like forever.
I'm telling you. I mean, you've been away. You've been outside of Nigeria for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
it's always good to come back home, man.
I know that feel. No doubt. But tell us, first of all, we have been having a conversation. We'll get into your full story and all that. Before we get into the story, what was the experience like, with all these happenings? It's been an eventful period in our lives as human beings, wherever you are in the world. So yes. So when you saw, I mean, when you're outside whenever you're outside Nigeria and things are happening here, what happens to you? What does that do to you? How do you handle them? Because I know your passion for the country.
So first of all, it's interesting because, of course, you know that I was actually here last year when the whole thing broke out. I arrived on the day that the government locked down the country. They shut the airports. I was the last plane in. And so I was only supposed to be here for the boot camp and then go back to London. But that didn't happen. I was here for like 7-8 weeks, just in lockdown the whole time.
Wow. How did that feel, though?
But you know what? It's just being here. You know, just being in Nigeria, being in the atmosphere, regardless of the fact that I couldn't go anywhere. The furthest I could go was ShopRite, Circle Mall. That was it. But just being here just felt different. So it's always a blessing being here, regardless of whether or not I couldn't go out, couldn't go to nightclub, couldn't go to Circle, couldn't go to all those places, couldn't go to eat, couldn't do those things. But being here was great. But and I know that there's a lot of commentary about the way in which the Nigerian government handled the whole thing. But I will tell you, like from my own experiences, the difference between here and in the UK, Nigeria put the UK to shame. I'm just going to put that out there.
Wow.
Just on so many levels. You have to understand that we put them on to shame on so many levels. So regardless of the
different negative stories,
there's a story to be told about what they did that the UK government didn't even get anywhere close to. Like I said, you locked down here on the day I arrived.
Yeah.
The UK didn't lock down for like until August or something like that. And Nigeria were 2 weeks behind in the first case.
That's right.
So you can see how quickly Nigeria reacted.
I mean, that's a positive. I mean, not many people talk about that. So let's come back to this is the family talk. We're having a heated conversation on in-laws. And of course, it's something anyone can relate to. If you're married, you know who an in-law is, and you would have one. And even if you're not married, you know, if you have someone who's married in your family to a family, you would certainly also have that in-law experience. So we're asking the question of how to manage in-laws. And I don't know how you like to react to that. We've heard a number of stories. One of the callers just said she's almost the same age with the husband. All right, and you know, she's been treated as trash by the in-laws. So and then sometimes they come into the house unannounced. They're staying for 1 week. It turns to 4 years. And then, you know, we've heard some of these stories. We've also heard sweet stories of in-laws being the best. Someone even sent a message on Facebook praying for the mother-in-law, saying she's the mother he never had, and praying for that. So we have two sides of the story. But I must say, a lot of the story most times has been on the negative end. So how can one successfully really manage? Tell us your own personal experience. Let's start from there.
I've been married before. Well, not married before. I had 4 children with my former partner.
Okay.
And her mother, my mother-in-law, if you like to call her, was the mother-in-law the nightmare.
Wow.
She was the mother-in-law nightmare, to the point that she would, like, you know how Nigerians do, right? She would lie about what I did to people. So we would have to meet people, and I'd have to lie about the fact that I'm in the music industry.
Wow.
But she would, I mean, basically, my children, I don't even think they ever met her while she was alive, because she was a very divisive kind of character. So, like, kind of, my wife was ostracized, like, you know, and so it was that kind of scenario. But I would say with my second relationship, I'm now married, happily married, 3 years coming on now, and I have the most beautiful mother-in-law. She's the funniest and most engaging person to be around. It's like, it's a great joy, and it's like, and it's the interesting thing is, like, that dynamic has made all the difference to the marriage. You know, having a good mother-in-law. But what I would say to that in defense of both scenarios, is that you as the in-law, the wife or the husband coming into that family, have to learn to adapt to the people that you're engaging with. It doesn't mean to say that you should become a punch bag.
Okay.
But you need to know how to maneuver, do some Floyd Mayweather shoulder rolls.
Okay. That could be a good strategy. Because we've been asking as well, what are the strategies? How can we maintain good and cordial relationships with our in-laws? So having to, like, I mean, you mentioned that we have to, know how to shudder and adapt to
Mayweather shoulder,
the in-law. But some in-laws will want to take advantage of that and become all overbearing. Now, how do we get to handle such situations still?
So I'm just going to put it in general terms, not even in-law. Just, human nature is human nature. You have good and bad, and you have givers and takers.
That's right.
You just have to be discerning enough to understand the people that you're surrounded by, and if you're like me, you'll adapt to your situation. That doesn't mean to say that I always get on in situations. There are times when I just have to stand up like a lion and let you know if you tread on my tail, if you put your head in my mouth, it's going to get bitten off, Abby. But there are times when you just have to be the charmer. You understand? And so you have to be able to adapt. It's really down to you. If you want your spouse to be happy, and that's the most important thing, right? Not the in-law. Sometimes it's so disjointed that there is no winning that game, and it's a long game that you play. And you wait for the opportunity to please rather than just trying to force a situation. You wait for the opportunity eventually they'll open the door to that scenario. God will open that door. That's right. Eventually God will open that door, and that's when you can take that opportunity. There was a time when my ex-mother-in-law, as I said, she would lie about what I did and all that kind of stuff, and she wouldn't welcome me to the house. One day she needed the front of the house painted, Abby.
Whoa.
And so I got that job. I got to do the job of painting my mother-in-law's. But I thought that might be the way in. After that, the same day, she was still cussing me the same way.
So it didn't work.
It didn't work that time. But I'm patient, Abby.
Yes. You're very patient, I'm telling you. Now, thank you so much. I mean, that pretty much answers. You have had the experience of both sides. And it's so incidental that we didn't even know this before coming on the show today. We are going to talk about, what you're working up on in the music industry right after the break. We'll get into he's a vocal coach, the biggest on the continent, the biggest in the country that I know of, the biggest, in this one of the biggest in the world, guys. Has worked with some of the finest, superstars that you get to find out from as we proceed on the show today. We'll get into that conversation after the break, right?
That's right. We'll be going on a short break at the moment. To stay with us, don't change the dial.
Partnership with the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund.
It's a new life.
.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.